Good evening. Today is December the 21st. 2023 already. Time is flying. This is our Christmas edition, I guess you could say. Just a quick disclaimer, nothing we say on the stream should be considered financial advice or any kind of advice whatsoever. It's strictly for education and entertainment purposes only. Mr. Dip, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. It's been a busy week, but happy to take a break from what I was doing and do the live stream. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we definitely look forward to this every week, and I have a good time doing it. Before we get into the market watch here, I just wanted to say real quick shout out to the project and team that we had on last week. Their launch is actually tomorrow for Bob Arena. For those that didn't watch last week's stream, it's a play to earn game on the Binance Smart Chain. So if you have a chance, go check it out. They launch tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, or I believe it's 4 p.m. UTC. Anyway, let's get right to the market watch. All right. Okay, as you can see, we have a market cap of 1.66 trillion, slowly, steadily going up each and every week. 24-hour volume in at 65.7 billion, although I think that is a little bit skewed. Let me just refresh that to be sure. No, yeah, it's still the same. We had a couple of coins that really popped off today, and the redheaded stepchild Solana being one of them. Dominance, we are at 51.8% for Bitcoin and 16.2% for Ethereum. It costs you 30 GUI for an ETH transaction. Currently, the Fear and Greed Index is still in greed at 74. That price, the Bitcoin price on the market overall, seems to be holding steady. Just when people think it's going to have a bit of a dump, it does not. Bitcoin sitting currently at 43,877, Ethereum at 2240, and as I mentioned, Solana all the way up to 9412. It's up 24.3% on the day. It actually flipped Ethereum in market cap by quite a bit now. And it's right on the heels of BNB, around $1 billion behind BNB, which is phenomenal. Let's quickly go over here to crypto bubbles for the week. Let's see what we got. ICP, Near had a good week. Solana, because of today's pump, is up. And a few others that you may have noticed or remember from the last bull market, such as VeChain, Polkadot. They're finally having a bit of a run up. They were lagging behind, but now they're slowly catching up. And go over here to the Bitcoin rainbow chart, which I will show every week. We're still in this area here, the accumulate zone, or actually I guess it would be still cheap. And so we'll see how long we chug sideways here up until the halving, which is this line here. And I'm hoping we still have time to accumulate, because unlike a lot of people are probably in the same boat. Actually, we haven't quite accumulated enough, and you can always accumulate more. So that's a quick little rundown of the crypto market. Do you have anything on traditional markets, Mr. Dip?
No, we're still just hovering around 5-year all-time highs with the S&P, and nothing notable happening. Just looks like people accumulating. So, yeah, nothing to report there.
Okay, perfect. I guess we'll slide right into headlines then. There aren't really too many. I mean, it's kind of been the same narrative, same old for weeks, months now, actually, about the ETFs. And it's actually kind of funny. I mentioned just before the stream here that Bitwise, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Bitwise. They've come out with a couple of ETF commercials. If anyone's familiar with the beer commercial for the Dosakis, the XXX beer, the old man that says, "Stay thirsty, my friends." Well, they brought him on and did a couple of ETF commercials. I thought that was kind of funny. Have you seen them? You saw them, didn't you?
Yeah, I seen them, and I also seen an update about whether it's true or not, a meeting between the SEC and all 13 of the companies waiting for approval, and it's looking like a green light. So when the deadline's the 10th, but it's by the 10th, so yeah, anything can happen at any time now. So it's pretty exciting.
I just hope, the Ginsler and the rest of the SEC doesn't pull their usual antics and delay, or find other reasons not to go ahead with it yet. They're going to eventually have to. They'll be forced to, under pressure, but they like to play games. Let's see if they hold it off any longer than
they did delay. Yeah, they did delay the Ethereum ETF that was submitted, but everything still seems almost like they're being guided through the process to make sure everybody's green lighted and.
No, are you insinuating they don't know what they're doing?
Well, hey.
We'll keep that one to yourself.
Do we need to talk about XRP today?
No. Yeah, right. I know. No kidding. And you're right about that, though. Actually, I read a couple of statements that BlackRock had a couple of meetings with the SEC. So, yeah, it's ongoing. I guess they're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Hopefully, it comes sooner rather than later. The other bit of news that I read a little bit earlier today was that El Salvador passes a law that will grant citizenship to any foreign Bitcoin investors. They've always been bullish on Bitcoin, as we know. They've made it their national currency, so that's good to see as well. Everything's pro Bitcoin over there in El Salvador.
What was the amount on that? $100,000 or something, and it's guaranteed citizenship, something along those lines?
Yeah, I didn't have the exact amount here, but that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So let's scrape our pennies together, and we'll move to El Salvador.
Yeah.
And I guess we can mention it here in headlines how Solana had a huge day. I mean, it just went berserk.
Yeah.
There was almost a god candle on the 1 hourly. I see Chart Davidson is going to be joining us today on the roundtable. Maybe he'll have a little bit of insight on that, because I honestly didn't really read what had happened. Normally, I'm kept up to date on the goings on of Solana, but I didn't really see what happened today. So maybe he'll have a little bit of insight on that. Did you have anything to add for?
No. Well, I was excited to see that Solana flip today, and how close it is to BNB now. Like, it's going to be a big contender this next bull run.
That is for sure. That's a guarantee. And yeah, it flipped Bitcoin, XRP for now, but I don't think that'll last too long, because XRP hasn't really moved. And the way XRP works, it'll stay stagnant for a little while, and just when you think nothing's going to happen, it shoots off. So expecting that to happen.
Yeah. I've actually noticed a big reduction when it comes to posts about XRP the last few weeks. It's like the hype's gone away, and there's less posts on different countries adopting and everything else. So who knows? I'm sure there's work going on in the background, but as for now, it's
Okay. Well, I guess that's it for headlines. We can jump right into the smash or pass. We'll bring up CryptoCruzer. There we go. How are you doing, sir?
Hopefully okay, if you can hear me.
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
We can hear you. Just keep yelling.
Okay. Having mic issues. I'm not sure what the deal is. So I'm using the mic on my webcam. Hopefully that's sufficient. So I think what we've decided for the weekly smash or pass is more of a warning not to smash. So many people have been hearing about this latest meme coin that is on the powered by Avalanche, I guess it says, called Cock in You. Somebody seriously has a good sense of humor on this one. It is strictly a meme coin, as I'll just go through the website here. It's very straightforward, not much to it, as we'll see at the end here in about 30 seconds. I tried to do some research on it, and there wasn't any to do. This is quite funny, actually. The meme coin of the Chad chain, called Cock in You, and you can get it on Trader Joe, KuCoin, HTX, and I guess Discord, X, and Telegram all have You know, they're all talking about it as well. They've got some attention on there. Born from collective friendship, deeply rooted in memetics and humor, Cockinu is not your average meme coin. It's a way of life. A Web 3.0 journey is incomplete without some Cockinu. Somebody's having fun with this one. Tokenomics, 69.42 trillion. Available, I guess. Max supply, no allocations, no pre-sale, no taxes, no BS. It looks like they just created them all and put them out there. It shows the actual, I'm assuming that's what their address is. And of course the disclaimer at the end. Cock is a meme coin with no intrinsic value or expectation of financial return. There is no formal team or roadmap. The coin is completely useless and for entertainment purposes only. Powered by Avalanche. Now it's funny they say that. No expected financial return, yet there is one or two people that made a few dollars on it. I'll just flip my screen here. In a matter of 38 hours, it jumped just shy of 200%. That's crazy for a coin that really is just a shit coin, created out of humor, I guess. And the warning here is, you know, don't fall for it. It hasn't come all the way back down to where it started, but it's getting close, and anybody who FOMO'd in probably lost their shirt, because it's just sad. It's pointless, but unfortunately there's a lot of these out there. This is just one of many coins, tokens, whatever we're calling them, meme coins, that are out there and will continue to pop up. We just have to be very cautious and not jump on board with these thinking we're going to get something out of it, because we're just not. Any comments from the other guys?
Well, the reason we brought this one on, actually by the dip, we'll have a few comments, I'm sure. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't know. I just seen that it was kind of going viral on social media, and it was real interesting. It's, as of right now, it's up 714% on the week. So yeah, I don't know. Anybody that's plays in the meme coin space, it's probably a lot of fun. I can't personally bring myself to do it. But yeah, it's always good to bring caution to investors that may feel this is actually a long-term hold. But yeah, I don't know. If I'd say a lot of people are having fun, and if you are playing and you've got a bag of cock, a big bag of cock, and you see some more upside to it, I don't know, hashtag BBC in the messages, and we'll see if it can compete with Bonk from last week. And yeah, as for will I smash or pass it, I think it's an obvious pass.
Yeah, pass for me.
Yeah, that definitely pass. I've never been one to play in that field with the memes and that sort of thing. Definitely not gonna I'm not gonna jump on a Cockinu for sure. Not happening. But you know what? Some of these guys catch lightning in a bottle. I was reading something. There's one individual that just happened to dump just shy of $500 into it at the right time and made over $2 million by the time it was all said and done. He sold it at the exact right time. Yeah, and he's loving life. But like I said, that's lightning in a bottle. That's a 1 in a million shot. We'll never find them, right? It's a gamble.
There are some people that have it down to a fine art. They're able to they pick a few of the memes that they think might pop off. They'll throw in a little bit in each one, and if they hit on that one, it's well worth it. I'm curious to see anyone in the roundtable this evening if they've got a bag of cock. Sorry, I had to. We're gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our warning to all the listeners and viewers out there is just be careful when it comes to meme coins, because if you get in even the slightest bit late, you'll end up being someone else's exit liquidity, and you don't want that. I mean, you can get burned on these meme coins real fast. And I know some of them run up for a while, and the gains are there for quite some time. Like, for example, Bonk had quite the long run up. Cock did for a little bit, but it's kind of slowed. And there are a few others that had a really good run up, but just you don't want to be left holding the bag. That's all I want to say.
Wise words, my friend. Wise words. Okay. Well, as for right now, it doesn't look like our spotlight is in the house yet.
No, he just messaged and he said okay, so I guess he'll be here any second. Is there anything else you wanted to add, CryptoCruzer, while you're here?
Just wanted to throw it out there that we will return with the regular Smash or Pass next week. I will be away, but it will be recorded on IMX.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's one of my favorites.
Definitely one of my favorites. So I will make sure to have that recording available for you guys. I'll be watching from where I am. Hopefully, apparently there's not much of a signal up there, so I may or may not be able to watch the stream, but I'll try.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks
all right,
for
we'll stick
putting in
around
the hard work, kind sir.
Yes. Yeah, we love all this research that you're doing for us. So yeah, stick around for the roundtable.
All right.
All right, looks like our guest has arrived.
Excellent.
Yep, I'll bring him up now. We'll welcome Matt from Investium.
Hey,
Matt, how you doing today, sir?
How's it going?
Hello.
Just got home. Went for some groceries.
No worries.
Oh.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
Yes. I'm doing great. Investium's doing great, so I'm happy.
Good.
Usual was going to be here as well, but we couldn't. There are some arbitrage going on at the moment, so he's on it. But yeah, great overall.
Perfect. Well, I guess
Okay,
we'll.
excellent.
What I normally do is I'll ask the guests to tell us a little bit about themselves, how they got into crypto, their crypto journey, and then lead us up into the project, which in your case is Investium. So tell us a little bit about yourself for anyone who may not know you.
So I'm Matt. I got into crypto back in the day with I remember Crypto Blades, Plant versus Undead. Well, crypto games basically. Into crypto I got way earlier. I got when Bitcoin was at $8,000, but into DeFi I got in when those crypto games launched. I invested into Crypto Blades, into Plant vs. Undead, into Axie Infinity even. Then I got more risky into like stable funds, stuff like that. I lost a lot of money, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started like a learning period. I started to learn to try to understand projects, how they can manage to offer 1% a day, 1.5. Some even offered 5% a day, like to understand if it's really possible, how they do it, if it's sustainable. Then I try to find opportunities within the market I move on, which is South Americans. And I found the arbitrage. So I decided to launch a project to offer people a way to get sustainable income. We give fixed rates. Of course, it's always like a red flag to give fixed rates. I don't find it that way, though. I have some thoughts there. I think fixed rates sound scary when you hear it's fixed, but when you analyze why it's fixed, it depends on how it's deployed, I think. So like bank rates are fixed. They're sustainable. So that's the thing. Well, not really, but sometimes. But yeah, that's what we do. That's my story my history in the crypto space. I got scammed several times. I lost money. I won money, but it was a good run until now.
Awesome. Yeah, when I first heard about your project, you actually had approached me, and I looked over and I love the idea. And now you look around, certain influencers and YouTubers, they're starting to talk about it, making videos about it, and I've heard nothing but good things. You guys now have a Telegram group which is starting to grow. Finally, you have a Discord group as well. And for anyone that hasn't seen the website, I'm just going to call it up now. It's a very clean website, easy to use. I mean, there's nothing. Here we go. Okay. So this is the main website here. When you hop on, it just shows, you can create an account from here. Email and login. So we got your wallet. Safely store your assets in our digital application wallet. Funds are withdrawable at any time. Under stake, choose the amount of time you want to stake your assets and get a daily interest over the lockdown period, which I will show the staking page in a minute. And our team is formed by developers, economists, and business advisors. We believe our team is strong enough to keep the project healthy and sustainable over time. Daily staking rewards, you offer up to 292% APY in our earn section. Rewards are distributed and can be claimed daily. I did want to ask you about that as well. You can leave your rewards sit there and claim at the end of the period as well, correct?
Yes, you can leave the rewards there. They will stack, and when you claim, the 24-hour countdown will start again.
Perfect. Okay. It's taking you. It's a very clean but nice website. Nothing too crazy, not cluttered, straight to the point. And then your Discord and Telegram links are on there as well. For anyone that wants to know, the website is investiumcapital.net. So I believe
the links are in the description.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so when you come on the website, you come to this page. It'll show your assets and any transactions that you've had. And when you go to earn, and this is where you get to choose, you can either use USDT or BNB, and you can choose your duration, 7, 14, 30, 45, or 60 days. Now, keep in mind, the 60-day is what gives you the 292% return. The 7-day is obviously lower. Is that correct, Matt?
Yes, it's lower because it allows us to compound when it's more time.
Exactly. And of course, you can change to dark mode, which I'm going to do. Much better. Okay, and then the exchange. I also did want to ask you about this one. Any plans any forecasts as to when this will go live?
This is live at the moment.
It is live now. Okay. All right. My bad.
Yep.
All right.
It won't show any assets because you don't own any.
I don't have any assets in my. That's right. Okay. All right.
If you have
perfect.
USDT, it will show USDT.
And then, of course, you can have a chat with you. So, yeah, it's a very clean website. I love how it looks. It's really straightforward, easy to use, obviously. And anyone who's getting into this type of project, they won't have any issues getting started. Is there anything else you wanted to add? I'm pretty sure you covered most of it. But, yeah, the floor is yours. Anything you want to add about it?
Well, that's basically what Investium is. We do arbitrage, both physically and digitally. We decided a week or a week and a half ago to make our arbitrage operations public. So now we show daily the arbitrage we do, both physically and digitally. It's pretty hard to kind of show the exact proof, but there is the rates. People can get to the links, see the rates, and see that an arbitrage can be done. Even if someone is here in Argentina, they could actually do it with our let's say signals. And that's it. That's what Investium is.
So right now you're paying out what, 0.8%
a day? Yes, on the highest lockdown period.
Okay. How much, if you don't mind saying, are you averaging doing the currency arbitrage?
Well, it's public at the moment. We average around from 0.2% up to 1% for digital operations, and anywhere from 1 to 7% for physical ones. Physical ones take more time because we work with a local exchange office, which set us the same rate, so we can exchange USDT into US dollar bills 1-to-1 and vice versa. So they take time. We have to get the money to them. But yeah, that's why we try to get above 1% on physical operations.
Okay.
Now, the other thing I wanted to add too. Oh, sorry, Dip. I just wanted to add that their arbitrage transactions. They have a new channel on their Discord server which shows the arbitrage transactions, which is really cool.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That is really cool. Another thing, so I was seeing something about sports betting as another way of earning income.
Yes, we had
for you guys.
the let's say the structure to do it, but we're not doing it right now. We're focusing on monetary arbitrage. We will add it in the future, maybe if we see a good opportunity. But for now, we're okay with monetary arbitrage. It covers the 0.8% we pay and gives us around 2/3 of what we pay in revenue.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good profit margin. You don't want to be in a project where the owner of the project isn't making any money, because if they aren't making any money, you aren't making any money.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We also want to, well, we're looking to invest. We are actually investing now, but part of so we as a, let's say, company have profits as well, pretty high profits at the moment. And we're investing our profit into crypto mining, into BTC mining, specifically. That's why here in Argentina we get pretty low electricity costs, which is at 3 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's what we're doing with our profit. It doesn't affect Investium in any way. It's just a way for us to create a safe wallet, and instead of distributing our profits into our 3 staff members, we just reinvested into the project, or into a side project that will eventually vinculate with Investium.
You just answered my next question before I got to ask it. I was gonna say, are you investing in any equity or anything on the side as insurance for investors? And that was the answer right there.
My additional question is, are you going to allow any investors to get a little piece of that mining pie?
Yes, that's a good question. We will actually. We're thinking about how to do it or when to do it, but we will allow. This will be, let's say, part of our treasury. Well, we don't really take profits. We don't really withdraw anything from Investium. We have our works apart. It's like a way to, let's say we get, I don't know, at $2,000 profits. Well, we get an ASIC miner. It starts generating income. We have an asset, which is the miner. And we have a constant movement of money instead of letting those $2,000 sit there in the bank and lose buying power every day, basically, because of inflation. And we also believe that it's a pretty good moment to start into crypto mining, not only because of the kilowatt hour cost we get, but because, well, the bull market is starting. Halving is, I think, 140 days from now. And yes, it's a pretty good moment to start. Also, the price of Bitcoin, the price of the ASIC miners is correlated with the price of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin rises, miners will raise as well.
Okay.
In price.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
see, that excites me.
Yeah, there was a huge difference in price from the top of the last bull run for an ASIC miner compared to at the bottom of the bear. I think at the top of the market they were selling for like $35,000-$40,000 a piece, and then you could get them at the bottom of the bear market for $7,000 or $8,000 for the same miner. So it was it's a definitely a correlated asset to Bitcoin.
Yeah. If you want to use that term, I would use, gouging, but okay. No, that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that there's going to be expansion, because you started off with a great product already, and to see that you're constantly developing the background and planning for future additions, that's great. That's awesome. That shows a true strength and possible longevity for a project. So congratulations to you there.
Yes. So
congratulations and good luck.
We want to make the project as robust as possible. So, and we don't want to maybe do 10 different things. And I don't know the term in English, but in Spanish, we have a term that says basically if you do a lot of things, you're not mastering any of those.
Yep, that's saying in North America. That's right. Jack of all trades, master of none.
So yeah, that's a term. We don't want that, of course. We're experts in arbitrage. That's our thing. And we invest part of our profits in Bitcoin miners. And in the future, we will maybe allow people to own a part of our miners. It will basically be like a housing thing. I don't know if you have that in your countries, but here, since electricity costs are very low, many companies have big Bitcoin mining farms. And for people that live in an apartment or anything, that they can't have an ASIC miners, but because of only the electricity power, it's 3,000 watts working 24/7, but also because of the noise, you get like 90 decibel noise, which is like a hairdryer running all the time.
Wow.
So they offer housing service, which you can take your miner to their installations, and they charge you at 20% of what the ASIC produces. Well, here it would be the same thing, just allowing people from all over the world to invest into mining. Also, we're thinking about having a live camera showing, let's say, an interactive menu where people can see, okay, this is the model, this is the watts the model consume. So I own a 5%, and I can go check the live camera. I can see my ASIC producing money and see, oh, that's the one I have a 5% of. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear, because we all know what happened as the bear market dragged on. There was a lot of projects that just failed for one reason or another. And myself, I was vocal, especially on this channel, to stay away from DeFi, basically, is what I was telling people for a while. But it's good to see good projects like yourself and a few others that are finally coming out. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. Obviously, DeFi is high risk and anything can happen to the project. But as for you guys running it and the project itself, it seems pretty solid. So I can actually say I endorse this. I'm really happy to see you guys bring Investium out to DeFi for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah,
thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Well, Investium is essentially not really DeFi, because all is a bit centralized. But the term sells for itself. Like, people hear DeFi like a new thing, so we promote it that way. But we try to be as transparent as possible. But in essentials, it's not really too DeFi.
True.
Well,
True.
I can't think of much that is completely non-custodial in any way in the DeFi space anyway. So I don't think you're putting people off in any way at all.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Matt. It was a pleasure. I'm glad we finally got you on the stream. This is where we move to our roundtable segment. Unless you're not finished yet, Dip, is there any other questions you had?
No, he was very quick at answering my questions before I had them. So he's played this game a few times.
So this is where we move on to the roundtable, and we bring up a few people that join the stream every week to discuss, whatever it is we discuss. So feel free to stick around. We'll bring them up now, and we'll just continue the conversation.
Awesome.
Bring up Juan. Good day, sir. How are you?
Hey guys, what's going on? How we feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty
feeling
good.
good.
Chart, how you doing today, sir?
It's been a busy day for me. Obviously, you know most of my day anyway. But yeah, I'm just watching the markets right now. I'm trying to see when we're gonna have this little dip here because I'm expecting something, but it's not giving me anything. So I'm just waiting.
And welcome back to CryptoCruzer. Yeah, I guess we can jump right into the market because that's kind of the story for today. Nothing really much else has happened except Solana it went on a rip, and as I said earlier in the stream, I'm not really sure why. I didn't read any news. I didn't hear anything. Chart, maybe you would have a little bit of insight on that.
I'll be honest with you, like it has nothing to do with any news. It's more or less just a technical thing with all the charts that are being set up. You have all these bullish momentum with all of these layer ones, and I think Solana is going through these motions of their last technical wave up to about $130, $140. And so when you have the last wave come along, it's usually like a retail pushing higher highs and higher lows. So yeah, we can get to 140 within the next few weeks for sure. Now, having said that, there will be a sell the moment point, I think, at that level, and people who are not thinking about that are going to get burned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless you're a hodler like me, then it doesn't really matter because I'm holding for the long term. Juan, sir, how are you doing?
Here, excited to see Bitcoin continue to stay stable. I think just like Chart, waiting for that dip. Solana, I think, had some meetings I heard with some banking for next year. That's all I can let in, but that's what I've been hearing around my areas in the finance world. So I think that's one of the good news. I think that Solana is kind of pumping. It may have to do with some of the rounds that I've been hearing about banking accepting Solana somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear any of that myself. But you're both right that it's super bullish. I mean, I bet you could have counted 8 out of 10 people that would have said, yeah, after that rise up to almost 45,000 on Bitcoin, that there was going to be some kind of a correction. I mean, we did have a little bit of a wick down, but all it did was wick down to support of the channel that had been flowing since October, and then it popped right back up. We keep getting rejected at around the 44,000 mark, which could be it could be a negative indication of exhaustion for the bears or for the bulls, but I guess we'll wait and see. But it's definitely bullish that it's maintaining this price point and not having a huge collapse. Although it depends on who you talk to, I suppose. Some are going to say that by Bitcoin not dipping or having a decent correction is not a good thing. But we are, in my opinion, we are in a bull market, and we have been for a little while now. And that's just par for the course when it comes to a bull market. I mean, if you're in the camp saying that we still are just kind of coming out of a bear, then maybe not having that dip is more important to you. But that's not the way I'm viewing it for myself anyway. CryptoCruzer, he was up earlier, talked about that cock coin. You follow Bitcoin fairly well. What do you think is going on right now? Do we even have him?
It says he's up, but
oh, he may not be here. No.
Sorry, still having mic issues.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, still having mic issues.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries. If you get those fixed, you can pop right back up and give us your opinion. Matt, we never did ask you in the interview if you follow the charts at all. Like, are you are you invested in the crypto scene, or are you basically just kind of a project dev guy?
I was invested in the crypto scene back in the day, but now I follow the local market charts most of the time to find arbitrage.
All right. Now you, what was that project you said you were in?
Hold on, relax.
I don't remember what it was, but did you ever get into SafeMoon? That was my question I was going to have for you.
No, I got into your project as well, the Mountain Finance. I remember back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was yours or I don't really know. I just I went in. I remember with 5,000, and I just left it there. Like I didn't know what happened even. I just invested and I don't know what happened.
It was actually the dev was the owner, Oxeria. He actually owned that project. I was just kind of a team member, more of a moderator for him. What happened there? He was having UI issues or whatever. He paused the contract and then he started doing payouts. But with everything that happened with Wolf Capital, he kept on getting what do they call them? Where people complain about the website. The term's eluding me. Anyway, so the web provider took the website down. So he's working on trying to get that back up so he can continue with I guess he's doing like monthly drops to help ROI people that invested there.
Oh, okay.
Evening all. How are ya?
Hi, Ashwell. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Better for hearing from all of you. Matt Investium, thank you for coming on tonight, my brother.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
You are most welcome.
So actually, I'll get your opinion as well on today's market, how some things went up, some things stayed neutral, and other things went down. Do you have a take on that? Or
Well, my take is the market is never possible to predict. What happens, happens. At the end of the day, no matter how much speculation and conjecture any one of us come up with, it's such a fantastical improbability to predict it that it's all purely chance. It's what will happen versus what won't happen. You know, we can't truly predict it. We can predict how likely something is, but we're not going to be able to guarantee anything. There's trillions upon trillions of dollars being traded all over the planet every single solitary day. So,
that's true. So your thoughts are it could go up or it could go down.
It could go either way. All we can predict is likelihood.
That's true. Chart, while I have you on, I did want to ask you, I know you had a busy day. I was in on a couple of those, listened in while I was working. But I had to jump a little bit early off of the last one with your last stream. What was the final update on that one? Like, what was that stream about?
The stream was about talking about Oculus and RWA narrative and how it's going to play out in 2024. And we just talked about, why would it be more advantageous for somebody to look at the real world asset basket, and why would they be wanting to invest their money into that versus like meme coins and other areas that we can possibly invest in. And the simple answer is like we've been waiting for something like this for like 10 to 12 years, I would say, and we're finally getting assets that we can actually use and invest in, not speculate on, and products that are going to make money for people, whether they're tokenized assets or whether they're tangible assets like what Oculus is doing with music. It's amazing to see what is going to happen, especially now that we have the infrastructure for all of that to happen. We have our layer ones, we have our layer twos now, and then now we're going to get layer threes built on layer twos. Like you'll see the apps on Matic, for example, or on Optimum, or what's the other one, Arbitrum, and so on and so forth. So yeah, and this is kind of like what we're waiting for, and I think we're at that point where these assets will surpass anything that we have in crypto. I truly think that, because there will be legitimate, true assets to invest in, right? Nothing speculative. You'll know your APY, right? You can see how much you can make if you deploy some of your capital into an asset like that, and there won't be so much speculation as we have now, right? Because most of the asset classes now are just speculative.
Right. It's interesting you mentioned Arbitrum, because I know a developer who is actually considering and starting to test different things on Arbitrum. So you're absolutely right. Developers and projects are going to branch out. And for anyone else listening and watching the stream later, Chart Davison is one of the members of the Degens project. Go check out their Discord. Get yourself an NFT, join the fun. There's a lot of good minds over there in that Discord. So if you're just dipping your toes in the crypto space or a seasoned vet, there's something for everyone over there. So go give it a check out. We'll drop the link in the description as well, or at least in the comments if we can't put it in the description. Juan, I know you and Ashley yourselves, you guys have been working on something in the background. Is there anything you guys can share with that yet, or not quite time?
All I'll say, I'll keep it vague. I'll let Juan elaborate further, but all I'll say is we are testing multiple things. It's looking good so far. We're all hopeful, but no guarantees will be made anytime soon. Not for at least a few weeks. That's for goddamn sure. Juan, you can take the response from here.
Yeah, the data has been very positive, surprisingly. I don't want to share figures, but on some of these accounts that we've been running on the background have seen some 5-figure bags being made a few times, which is surprisingly, of course it was risky, but I just kind of wanted to test it and see how far I can push it. And I'm not talking 5 figures in a matter of weeks. I'm talking about like 2 days. Yeah. So we're going to continue to tweak things and make it safer. Obviously, that level of risk is not something we want to approach it that way. However, having the ability to do that is nice to know that we can if we need to. If we need to kind of make a run at the end of the month, just to make our clients happy. So, yeah, excited to see what the new year is going to bring for us, and I can't wait.
Amazing. Now, when you guys have been testing, how have they reacted to volatility? Because we've had a little bit of volatility in the last little while, and we all know that sometimes volatility can be a bad thing, especially when it comes to that type of project. So, how have they handled the volatility?
Like most setups, right? We worry more about when it's sideways than when it's volatile. We like the volatility. We prefer it. It works better. When it's sideways, we tend just to, keep it very minimal and see if we catch anything on the way. But for the most part, the volatility is where we kind of want to thrive in.
Okay, very good. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And we expect, and we stress expect, as in not guaranteed. We expect to go public again at the end of January. Now for you, Crypto Crazy and Kalika and a few others that were initially involved in round 1, we have other plans in a more immediate basis, but that is not a discussion for tonight or in the coming days. We'll discuss that with you in a separate time.
Like to hear that. Well, this doesn't usually happen very often, but I'm kind of flat out of topics. Is there anything anyone would like to talk about? Dip, do you have anything?
Has anyone got any low cap gems that they're keeping an eye on that or what people who are watching should be looking into?
Bag of cock.
Can I say you guys are loving that name too much? Can I say that? I think this is probably the intent of the issuer of that token. I'm going to refer to that meme as COQ. That is it. That's all you're going to get from me. But if you guys want, I can run down some of the RWA projects that I have under my watch list. And obviously, you guys know about Opulus. There's Labs. There's Pendle. There's Boson. There's Prop. I got GFI, Land, C-Pool, and CTC. All right. So that's my list. I got another one, but it's not listed in many places. It's called Swarm Markets. I think the token is SMT, but I don't think it's listed in many places. But if you're looking for that, there's another one.
Okay. Actually, I while I have you talking about your low cap picks, have you heard of Mobile, and what do you think of it? It's also on Solana.
What's the ticker again?
It is Mobile, MOBILE.
Actually, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it a couple days ago, and I've kind of started to look at it. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know, I'm just curious if it has anything to do with the Sega phone. If they're starting maybe some kind of a development ecosystem with the mobile token to develop on for the Sega phone. I'm not really sure. I'm going to look more into it though.
It looks like it might be the token for Helium. But does that make any sense?
Helium. Oh, that might be another one. I know about Helium,
Yeah.
but I mean mobile. Yeah, I didn't know mobile.
I was gonna mention that Helium is one of my secret tokens that I like to hold on to. Helium is looking good. I wouldn't sleep on AVAX. I think those are going to be major players in the whole banking space, and we need to keep our eyes open. I wouldn't sleep on it too much. Expect a dip, and if you see a nice dip, I would grab a bag. That's all I would say.
Of Helium.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Now,
It's going to be a good thing.
Sorry to cut you off. I remember. Now, was Helium that one that you could buy that home miner for? Not really a miner, I guess it was, and it wasn't a mobile miner, but it was some kind of a miner you could purchase like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Was that
the
Helium?
antenna network.
Yeah, I thought it was.
That is
Helium.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Helium.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I was actually, it was a crypto family member of my brother and I. He lives down in Florida, and he mentioned it to me once about getting this miner. So I did. I went through the process of applying for it and everything, and I guess they had sold out. Just I missed the boat, so to speak. And yeah, I'm kicking myself in the ass for that one because if I had been using that miner for the last couple of years, it would be nice and lucrative by now. But I'm pretty sure it was Helium. I just couldn't remember. Chart, yeah, I'm just looking at on Dex Screener, and the one I was thinking of was the Saga /Sol Solana mobile token. So the ticker is actually, I guess it would be Saga. Yeah, thought it was mobile, but it is Saga.
Another token that I've seen today that was pumping that I haven't heard about in a while is Polkadot. I think it did like 8-10% today.
Yeah, I mentioned that on Crypto Bubbles. It's
yeah.
Where is it? Dot. There you go. Yeah, 10.4% for the week. Yeah.
One of the ones that I keep telling people to load up on, maybe not so much because of the fundamentals, but because of the chart setup, is actually Harmony. It's a 2021 token that we love. It's done great for us in the past, and it's lagging big time against all the other layer ones. Not particularly for the reasons of being something wrong with the chain itself, but I guess the traders haven't got a hold of it yet. And that's the one I'm actually trading right now. I'm trying to find a good position, long position for, because, we were looking at a 100% expansion really soon. As soon as we get this little dip over with, and I'm looking forward to finding a good bounce spot and to long it. So if you guys are looking for something, Harmony for sure.
Yeah, you had mentioned that on your spaces today, the DGen spaces, and I was working, so I couldn't pipe up. But I was actually going to mention and type that's one of my longest holds. XRP is probably my longest hold, but Harmony One I've had for quite a while, and I've just held on to my bag. During when the bear market hit last year, it was kind of one of those things that I didn't bother worrying about my buy-in costs or how much I had, because I just planned on keeping it, because there's a few kind of back burner projects that I really like, and Harmony One is one of them. VeChain Vet is another. Those are ones that I'm just kind of I've got high hopes for them, especially because of their real world utility. So yeah, that is one that I've had on my radar for a long time. That's a good call there, Chart.
I feel like Matt's getting left out here. Is there anything in his space aside from his own project that is on his radar that would be worthwhile for people to be looking into?
No, I mean it's okay. I'm hearing, I'm learning. It's always good to learn about different stuff in the same crypto space.
Yeah.
Just for for Matt and for a few other projects out there, Dip and I, we wanted to mention that starting next month, we are going to be doing a live stream with a couple of other YouTubers, Canadian YouTubers, Crypto Andy and Pocket Aces. We're going to all get together and we're going to do a monthly live stream called the Crazy Canucks. And in that live stream, we're going to just kind of go over the previous month, different projects that we've, that we're really bullish on, that we've endorsed. Obviously, Investium is going to be one. So it's going to be a fun collaboration. It's basically just going to be, 4 crazy Canadians talking about everything crypto. And I'm sure we'll throw in some traditional market stuff too, just because, Boy the Dip would be offended if we didn't. But it's going to be a good stream. I think we're going to have a good time.
Oh, that's honestly pretty
Let
fantastic.
me go all Cobra Chicken on you.
I do have a question though. What are the chances that Gala makes a return to the all-time high? I mean, the price is very good for the picking,
Yeah, and earlier on in the year, it was doing so well. I was so bullish on it, and then it just gassed out with a lot of the trading pairs that it was pretty much supporting it. So I can't even answer that. I know I've lost my bullish hopes for it.
Well, there's another one that falls in that category, which is Illuvium. I think because they're both in the gaming sector, I think they're going to do well. They'll probably get close to their previous all-time high. See, the problem is you got to do a little bit of research. You got to figure out, like last bull market at their peaks, what was the circulating supply, and their total supply? Like, what was the ratio there? Now, going into this bull market, have they released a lot of those tokens? Is there a burn system or mechanism on their project? Because if they release a lot of their tokens, it's going to be pretty hard to get their back to their all-time highs. Pardon me, simply because of how many are on the market. But it's one of those things you really got to dive into. But as for the project itself, Juan, I think Gala will make a comeback. Yeah, Gala will do well because of the gaming. When you stop hearing about something, that's when they're building in the background. Guaranteed, they're still. They're building and thinking ahead to the bull market to come. Maybe they're going to release something at the right time, just before the market really goes bananas. But I think at the end of the day, when the chips are all down, I think they'll be there with the best of them. Both Gala and Illuvium, I believe, will be there.
Oh, that's good perspective. I've never understood, even though I know why, obviously we all do. I've never truly grasped how gaming and crypto would correlate so damn well. Crypto is more like finances, and games you think of people playing video games. It's just never really, even though I know how, I've never really understood it fully, how they interlocked so well.
I'd say it's just the tech innovation side of things.
Yeah, okay.
And then the ability to actually earn money by playing the games instead of paying money to play the games.
That is indeed very true. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just one would never, when crypto, 10 years ago, one would never have thought that, hey, crypto could be used to play games. That would have thrown a lot of people off.
No, that's right.
Like when we had Bob Arena on last week, and one of the things that I really liked about the crypto gaming space through the last bull run is that you had a lot of people in third world countries actually making a living off these projects, playing these games, and it was actually supporting families and doing some good in the world. So I have high hopes for it in the future, because you always want things to be a bit better for everybody.
Yeah. Especially in those parts of the world where money is not easy to come by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, Chart, I want to turn to you again. I don't mean to be picking on you this evening, but one thing you did mention as well on your spaces earlier today, the DGen spaces, is you weren't a fan of the Sega phone. Now, I'm going to agree with you a little bit that, it is the first one that they've launched, and obviously there are going to be a few issues, but I don't think it's as bad as maybe some people think it is. At least according to the videos I've seen and the specifications of the phone. I mean, it's not top tier, granted, but it does have a lot of the same specs as CryptoCruzer pointed out in his detailed rundown of the Sega a couple weeks ago. That it's basically, I guess, the the S21 it's compatible with. But I think the biggest advantage of that phone, for anyone who didn't know at the time, obviously, the earlier ones came preloaded with a couple of NFTs, and then the later ones came with the bonk, if not all of them. I can't remember if they all came with the bonk, but and that bonk is almost the price of admission for the phone. But what I found was interesting is the couple of the NFTs that were preloaded on the phones on the earlier versions are now worth, some of them, upwards of 23 SOL, which is incredible. But as for the phone itself and the hardware, I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's not like you're getting a Motorola Razr or anything. And the fact that it does have the wallet compatibility and the soon to be more popular Solana the App Store, I guess you want to call it, whatever they named it. But I wouldn't say it's complete trash, but certainly because it is the first version, it's going to be only get better as the future comes. And more versions are released.
Ironic that it works like that for things like that nature, but God Almighty forbid, a DeFi project has the dreaded words, dare I say them, V2. I don't think I've ever seen a V2 succeed ever. Has a V2 ever documentally succeeded? I'm being serious.
Well, when it comes to hardware, that's different. So, Char, you were going to say something.
Yeah, first off, don't you dare diss that Motorola Razr, okay? That Motorola Razr is one of the finest phones around. I actually owned one. It was awesome. It was like, the pads were all like slick and smooth. You don't really have anything to touch. Man, that phone was awesome. So don't you dare compare it to that awesome phone. But secondly, like, it's all about its usefulness, right? What are you going to use that phone for? A lot of people are probably getting the phone for the sake of just getting airdrops and all the perks or whatever. A lot of them are not going to actually physically use that phone for anything but that. So if you're buying that phone for the sake of getting the airdrops and the NFTs or whatever, absolutely go for it. I think it's an easy win in my books. But I think we need to wait for like the second and third iterations of the phone to actually know whether or not it's going to be something. Right. Yeah. And I listen, I'm pulling for it. I wish nothing but the best. I hope it does do well. But I've seen this happen before where there's like the notion of having this blockchain phone around. It doesn't really serve any purpose outside of what we already have. Right. We already have all the applications that we need to do crypto on the go. Right. So we don't really need a crypto specific phone. Like, what is the point of that? Right. To make phone calls on the blockchain? Why would you need to do that, right? So I don't know. I'm a little bit more skeptical than most people for that reason.
I just think you got to. Sorry, Dip. I just want to say you got to give them props though, because they are the first crypto company, firm, project, whatever you want to call it, in the entire space that has developed something like this. So you got to give them props for that. And I've spent a better part of the last 12 months defending my redheaded stepchild, till I was red in the face. And now here we are a year later. They have a cell phone which sold out. They are leading this market for the last 6 months, currently at $94.05 US, when they were all the way down to $7.85, depending on what exchange you're looking at.
Can I cut you off there for a second? So we all know why it sold out, right? It wasn't the fact that the phone was so damn good. It sold out because it was receiving bonk airdrops. So let's be a little bit more critical on that front, because if they didn't announce any bonk airdrops, there's no chance that would sell out, right? Because it was having a hard time actually selling out initially, right? And so as soon as they announced all these things, all these little perks that come with the phone, of course people would speculate. Of course they would buy a whole bunch of them. You've heard in our Discord that one guy bought 2 because he knew that was happening. So it became all of a sudden an investment rather than an actual purchase to use.
All the bullishness, and that's your takeaway. And for anyone listening and watching, just so you know, Chart does like Sol. I mean, it may sound like he doesn't, but his project is actually based on the Solana chain. So just to clear that up, he does like Sol. Dip, you were going to say.
Yeah, no, just because you mentioned NFTs, that just brought up another topic I think we could end the chat here on, given the time. How does everybody think this new movement towards Bitcoin NFTs is going to swing the NFT market come this next bull run?
I'll reserve for last.
Say that. Actually, hold on.
Reserve for last.
Say that again, Glenn. Ask that again. So I heard.
Okay, we have NFTs coming to the Bitcoin space.
Ordinals.
How do you think that's in ordinals? How do you think that's going to affect the rest of the NFT market moving forward? That it's on Big Daddy Bitcoin chain.
More than likely, it will be a fantastical boom, and many billions of dollars will enter the NFT market. Because when it comes to anything involving Bitcoin, Bitcoin is known as the grandfather of all things crypto. Unless I've lost my goddamn mind tonight, I would assume that's still the case. So, with that said, I mean, granted, I lost it a lifetime ago, but I digress. Anyways, anything involving Bitcoin is going to involve a lot of money because Bitcoin is the grandfather of crypto. Bitcoin is the one crypto that has a frozen dick's chance in hell of actually getting mainstream approval. All the others, no matter how popular they are, will never get mainstream approval just for the virtue of them coming last. Bitcoin came first. By virtue of being grandfather of them all, Bitcoin has the most reputation, has the most money staked into it, and has the highest value. So I predict a lot of money is going to come in. A lot.
Do you think it's going to pull from other revenues like Solana and Ethereum?
For goddamn sure. Yeah, at the very least here, because Solana, they're doing well now, but when Bitcoin, like I said earlier, Bitcoin's the grandfather of them all. The most money's with Bitcoin. Most people like Bitcoin. It's just a sheer reality of the world. Bitcoin's going to steal a lot of money from a lot of people and generate its own profits.
Juan, what do you think?
I think that NFTs are still like this niche market. It's kind of like art collecting. Right, in the real world, some people who can afford to do so do it. The mainstream kind of really doesn't yet. It hasn't become accessible, although we do have a lot of projects like the ones you interviewed recently that kind of shows where NFT can play a huge role in our lives, and in it, and I see it as a great educational tool. I just think it's going to take some time. I think everybody's focus right now on the EFT part is just really how can I make money? How can I utilize it to store funds? I think that's like the main focus right now. But NFTs probably another year or two before people can actually see what it's worth. But just to kind of tie back to the Solana phone real quick, I just wanted to say I do agree with a lot of Charles was saying when it comes to the phone itself. If I could mine Solana from my phone exclusively, I think it would have been a great perk. I think like most phone companies that come out new, they just miss their entry into these companies that own the spaces when it comes to the phones. And I just don't think they have anything yet that says I need to own it because I can do X, Y, Z. It's just not there yet. I think, maybe second iteration, third iteration with the processing power might be there to do certain things, to take advantage of Solana. I think that's where I want to kind of see it. I just want to make sure I revisit that, because I love when new stuff comes out, but it just has to be worth it. It has to be where it's ubiquitous, where it's easy to use, where there's a benefit. I think, like, for example, everybody was mining Pi and hoping that when Pi reaches whatever and it releases, people are going to be rich, whatever, right? Solana is a tangible product today. And having a phone that actually can do it, right? Imagine just, as long as you talk on your phone, you use it, it's powered, you're mining. The more you use your phone, the more Solana you make. Imagine that. I just think it's a huge miss.
That is something that I would love to see. Because if Pi releases, all the projections say that Pi is going to be around $30, $35. Does anyone want to dispute that? Because that's projections I saw. If it ever does release.
I think it's sitting there now with that wrap version right now.
Yeah. So if it releases,
without a release,
I have 1,000 Pi, over 1,000 Pi. I will have probably upwards of several dozen $1,000 just for mining it on my fucking phone if it actually releases. So imagine if it was Solana doing that instead. A fantastical number of millionaires we made overnight. It's not even funny.
Oh yeah.
Chart, your views on ordinals and NFTs on the Bitcoin chain?
I mean, there won't be any liquidity grab from Bitcoin from the other chains. I think a lot of these chains have already established their own communities and NFT backers, and a lot of these guys are speculators on NFT prices. Even myself, like I'm looking at some of the collections now, thinking about, you know, if this actually trades on the upswing when the NFT market does come back, there's definitely going to be a lot of liquidity back. So yeah, I just think individually they're going to trade within their circles. Bitcoin people are going to love Bitcoin. They're going to stay with Bitcoin. Solana people are going to be staying with Solana. ETH people love their ETH. Gas fees at $125. So yeah, it's not going to matter. I think because most of the NFT market is going to start at the same time. I think maybe one will pull the other, but if it does start, say for example with ordinals, I think there will be a signal to Solana people. This is the start of an NFT bull run, and so yeah, it's going to happen. But I think people understand the liquidity has to come from somewhere, and I think the token market is the way to go first.
It appears, Chart, that you and I appear to have the opposite view, because what I noticed is you seem to basically, you just said the opposite of what I said. You really do believe that even after Bitcoin drops an NFT collection, that people are just going to stay loyal to the original basis and not want to try something new?
Yeah, because the time to try something new was actually last year and then early this year, right? Because ordinals have been around now for a little while. And so, you know, if you wanted to try it, you should have tried it already, right? And I think people kind of figured out their niche, whatever it is. It could be ETH, could be Solana, it could be even AVAX or even Moonbeam for crying out loud. They have NFTs as well. So you would find your own niche, stick with your niche, and go from there. Because you don't want to try something new and then fucking it up. You know, there's a lot of people who are going to try ordinals for the first time and realize, oh my God, I got to spend $2,000 in fees. Yeah, so that's the issue, and it's not intuitive. If you ever try to use anything on Bitcoin itself, there's no applications that are pretty easy to use, right? And so this is a huge deterrent for a lot of people. And so for me, if you're using Solana and you see the ease of use on Solana, why would you go to Bitcoin? Not only is it slower, more expensive, but it's harder to use. So it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Fair points.
Exactly my point. Okay, we're running out of time. I'll give my final point before Glenn closes out the show. Chart, I agree with you on a couple of things there. For one, we've already seen what happens when Bitcoin gets congested. When these ordinals started, you know, transaction times they took a while. It got pretty expensive. I don't think Bitcoin's ready for that kind of volume. Two, Bitcoin is a store of value. I don't see anybody who's, you know, owning and storing Bitcoin for, you know, hodling it, for them wanting to spend it to buy, you know, pixel art or whatever it is you want to call the NFTs nowadays. I just don't see it. And like you said, people are so used to using Solana and Ethereum and AVAX and all the others. And you see what happens with Ethereum, their gas fees, when they start getting too expensive, just people aren't transacting on it. Like they're not either they're not minting, buying, or selling NFTs. Solana seems to be the front runner when it comes to that. I just to answer your question, Glenn, I don't see ordinals being, you know, the catalyst for another NFT run or anything of that kind. I don't even see it being all that popular. Most people that own Bitcoin, they don't own it to transact NFTs. They're going to hodl it.
Good point. Okay, so yep, so we're at an hour 13 minutes, so we'll wrap this up. Thanks everybody for joining and watching. If you found value in this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're live every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great week. Bye.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And Matt from Investium, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for the space to kind of talk about my project.
No problem, my friend.
See you guys next week.